Welcome to the deep dive. You know that feeling when you want dinner, like now maybe 15 minutes, and you want it healthy, but you still crave that amazing crunch, that deep fried texture.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly why the air fryer just blew up, right? It's this gadget promising all three: speed, health, crispiness.
But then you start looking, and boom, you run into its bigger, maybe older relative, the convection oven.
The classic kitchen showdown.
Exactly. And the material we dug into was pretty fascinating. It showed how both machines, well, they use the same basic idea of moving hot air around.
Right. Same physics.
But they're built for totally different jobs.
Right.
So our mission today, let's cut through the noise. We know it's hot air, but how they use it is key. We want to pull out those crucial differences from the sources so you can figure out which one actually makes sense for your kitchen.
Okay, let's start with the basics then, just defining them, because the whole point is in how they're designed differently from the get-go.
All right. So the air fryer, what are we talking about? It's compact, sits on the counter, usually has that pull-out basket, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And its whole purpose seems to be like extreme focus.
Yeah.
It wants to mimic deep frying. So it blasts hot air really, really fast inside that tiny little space.
High speeds. Yeah. That's the key. It's all about air velocity to get that crisp texture, but without needing tons of oil. Think wings, fries, that kind of thing.
Okay. Now, contrast that with the convection oven.
Right. This is the all-rounder, usually bigger. Could be a countertop model, but often it's built into your main oven.
Yeah.
It also uses a fan to move hot air, sure, but the goal is different. It's about evenness, getting consistent heat everywhere inside that larger space.
So good for baking, roasting, stuff that needs steady temps.
Exactly. Much broader range of tasks.
Hold on, though. If they both use a fan and hot air, why do the sources make such a big deal about them being different? Isn't the air fryer basically just a mini convection oven, like a really small one?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And maybe where we should really focus. It boils down to this trade-off.
Yeah.
You're choosing between super focused speed,
like the air fryer,
and widespread versatility, like the convection oven. It's not just about size, it's how they use that space. Think of it like a race car versus a delivery truck.
Okay. One's built purely for speed in a straight line. The other's built to carry a lot reliably.
Precisely. The air fryer is optimized for maximum air impact in its tiny chamber. The convection oven is designed for even airflow across a much larger area.
Got it. That makes a lot more sense. So let's link that directly to size and speed constraints, because this is where the sources really start differentiating who should buy which.
Yeah, capacity is the most obvious difference you see right away. Air fryers are small. I mean, the sources usually list them between, 2 and 10 quarts.
Which is fine if you're cooking for one or two, maybe making a side dish.
Exactly. Perfect for small households, apartments, maybe students. But if you're trying to feed a family of 5, forget it. You'll be doing batch after batch.
Right, which kind of defeats the whole quick promise.
Totally. Whereas the convection oven, well, now you're talking volume. Often 0.5 to 2 cubic feet, sometimes even more for the built-in ones.
That's big enough for a turkey, right? Or multiple trays of cookies.
Absolutely. You can do large roasts, big batches of vegetables, several things at once. If you do meal prep or cook for a crowd, that larger capacity is just essential.
Okay, so size dictates what you can cook. How does it affect how fast you cook it?
Well, that's where the air fryer's small size becomes its superpower. Because the chamber is so tiny, that intense, fast-moving air heats everything incredibly quickly.
Like those frozen fries examples, 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, and often, this is important, often without preheating, you just toss them in and go. That instant-on feel is a huge part of its appeal.
That no preheat thing is big, especially on a busy weeknight.
Definitely. Now, the convection oven, it's still faster than your old regular oven, The sources say maybe 20-30% quicker for baking. Still an improvement, for sure. But it does need time to preheat. So for those really quick jobs, the air fryer often wins purely on total time from off to done.
Interesting. So the expert insight here is kind of counterintuitive.
Mm-hmm.
The air fryer's amazing speed is only possible because it's small.
Exactly. It's a direct consequence of its limited capacity. That concentration of hot air blasting everything at once, you just can't replicate that intensity effectively in a larger space. You trade that velocity for volume.
Okay, so air fryer wins on speed. But does that speed compromise the actual food?
Yeah.
Let's get into the results. We're talking crisp versus consistent, right?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. The air fryer. It absolutely excels at creating crispy textures. That rapid dry heat accelerates the Maillard reaction, the browning process.
Makes things golden and delicious.
Right, and it does it using way less oil than deep frying, like 70–80% less according to the sources. So for snacks, appetizers, reheating pizza so it's not soggy, it's fantastic.
But there's always a but, isn't there? That same aggressive power could be a problem for other things.
Absolutely. The sources flag this clearly. That intense swirling air, it can be too harsh for delicate stuff. Think cakes, soufflés, even some breads.
Why? What does it do to them?
Well, it can dry out the surface too quickly, cause uneven rising, maybe even blow lighter batters around. It's just too much wind, basically. You don't get that gentle, even bake you need.
Ah, okay. So the very thing that makes it great for fries makes it bad for, say, a sponge cake.
Pretty much. Which leads us to the convection oven's strength, consistency.
Because the air movement is gentler, more widespread.
Exactly. It's designed for even heat distribution, so you get beautifully consistent results across the board. Perfect for baking those cakes, roasting vegetables evenly, cooking large casseroles where you need heat to penetrate slowly and uniformly.
Makes sense. So its limitation is the flip side. It's not going to give you that super intense, almost deep-fried crispiness on things like wings or mozzarella sticks.
Generally, no. It can make things nicely browned and roasted, but it typically won't achieve that same level of shatteringly crisp texture the air fryer can. It's just not designed for that kind of surface intensity.
Okay, this really clarifies the versatility question then.
For sure. The air fryer can do other things besides frying roast, some veggies, bake a small potato, but it's fundamentally limited by that small basket design. It's a specialist.
Great at one thing, okay at a few others in small portions.
Right. While the convection oven, that's your kitchen workhorse.
Baking,
roasting, broiling. Some even have modes for proofing dough or dehydrating.
And crucially, it handles multiple racks. You can cook a main dish and sides at the same time.
Exactly. Full meals, big batches, much more versatile in terms of what and how much you can cook.
So summing up this part, if you mainly want healthier fried foods fast and you cook small amounts, air fryer is your champ.
Yep. But if you need to bake seriously, roast big things, cook multiple dishes, or just value overall consistency for a wider range of foods, the convection oven is pretty indispensable.
All right, let's get down to brass tacks, the practical stuff. Energy use, cost, and maybe the most dreaded part, cleaning. How do they stack up in real life?
Okay, ease of use and cleanup. This one's pretty clear-cut. Air fryer wins, hands down.
Really?
Well, they're usually super simple to operate. Digital controls, presets. Very intuitive. But the real win is cleaning. That basket and tray. Usually non-stick, often dishwasher safe. You rinse, maybe wipe, toss it in the dishwasher, done.
Okay, I like the sound of that. Because cleaning ovens is not fun.
Exactly. The convection oven, especially a big built-in one, is way more involved. More complex controls sometimes, sure, but the cleaning, big interior, racks, trays, maybe baked on grease.
Yeah.
It takes time and effort. Things often aren't dishwasher safe either.
Yeah, scrubbing those racks is a whole workout. Okay, what about energy and cost? Big difference there too.
Significant difference, yeah. Reflects their size and purpose again. Air fryers are pretty low power, relatively speaking. Sources say typically 800 to maybe 1,500 watts.
Which makes them quite energy efficient for those quick small meals, right?
Definitely. And they're generally cheaper to buy too. You can find decent ones from, say, $50 up to maybe $200, pretty accessible.
And the convection oven.
Much hungrier for power. Especially for long bakes or roasts, we're talking 2,000 to 3,500 watts, sometimes more.
Wow. Okay, so higher electricity bills for longer cooks.
Potentially, yes. And the purchase price is way broader. Basic countertop models might start around $100, but good built-in ones, you're easily looking at $1,000 plus. It's a bigger investment all around.
So connecting it all, the convection oven costs more upfront and potentially more to run, but you're paying for that scale and versatility.
Exactly. You're buying a major appliance capability. The air fryer is more like a targeted, efficient add-on. It's an investment in convenience for specific types of meals.
Okay, let's try and synthesize this. Based on everything the sources told us, how does someone actually choose? What are the final decision points?
All right, let's boil it down. You should probably choose an air fryer if 1, space is tight on your counter. 2, your main goal is making those typically fried foods healthier and faster.
Like wings, fries, nuggets.
Right. And 3, you usually cook for just 1 to 4 people max. It nails convenience, speed, and efficiency for those smaller, quicker meals.
Okay. And conversely, choose a convection oven if
you need the flexibility to bake, roast, broil, maybe dehydrate basically, do lots of different cooking styles well.
Not just frying.
Correct. Also, if you regularly cook for a larger group or you like doing big batch cooking or multi-component meals all at once, you need that capacity and even heat. It's the multitasking powerhouse.
Simple enough. But hang on. There was that interesting little paradox in the energy numbers we just talked about. You caught my eye in the source material.
Yeah. The wattage, right.
Right. You said the convection oven uses way more peak power, up to 3,500 watts versus maybe 1,500 for the air fryer.
Yeah.
So intuitively, it sounds less energy efficient.
It does sound that way initially. But here's the twist, and maybe the final thought to leave people with.
Okay.
The analysis pointed out that because the convection oven can cook a large amount of food all at the same time.
Like a whole family meal.
Exactly. It might actually use less total energy for that entire meal than running the lower wattage air fryer multiple times back to back to cook the same amount of food in smaller batches.
Whoa. Okay. That flips the script a bit. So the air fryer is efficient per batch, but the convection oven could be more efficient per meal if the meal's big enough.
Precisely. It challenges that simple idea that smaller appliance always means lower energy use overall. It depends how you use it and what you're cooking.
That definitely gives you something to think about. It raises that question. When does the sheer scale of the cooking job actually make the bigger, more powerful machine the more energy-sensible choice overall?
Exactly. Are you really saving energy running that little guy 3 times in a row compared to one efficient run in the big oven? Something for you to mull over next time you're planning dinner.
Definitely food for thought. Happy cooking, everyone.
Indeed. Until next time.